So I'll go more into that when I talk about trauma, but right now I want to focus on this idea that we have lost a degree of feeling, and I'm going to do a couple of exercises to regain feelings. Are you all up for it? Yeah. Okay. So let's all start by standing. If you have shoes that are easy to take off, with shoes off, this works better. You can do this at home, and there's a kind of reiteration of this in your handouts. One of the things that happens, two things happen. If you look at children, the natural way to stand, how many of you stand normally? Just stand naturally. How many of you have knees locked? How many have unlocked knees? Locked? 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 Unlocked? You guys know better. See, anybody who's done martial arts learns some of this right away or understands bioenergetic.
So what's locked and unlocked?
Locked is like this, clunk. Mm-hmm. So it's solid from here down to there. Unlocked is they're slightly bent, so there's a little bit of bounce. Mm-hmm. When you lock your knees, basically the mobility that's naturally meant to be present from your waist down is gone. It's rigid, it's fixed, it's actually on some level dead because it's like a car without shock absorbers. But more than that, it's a body that naturally wants to release energy by grounding it out through the earth, naturally, by design of heaven and earth, that has been disabled and it gets stuck because this is not functioning from the waist down. Are you with me on this? Okay. In the Quran, it says, in the alternation of night and day, there is a sign in the alternation of night and day for those who reflect. This is a big, big, big ayat. Big ayat. Big, deep meaning in it. Lots of it. Everything works like that. Alternation of night and day. The sun comes up, it comes out. Everything opens. Heat, movement, activity. The sun sets. Charge, opening, discharge, settling. Day and night. Okay? Our nervous systems work the same way. They charge up, active, and they discharge. Our systems charge up with each breath. As we breathe in, there's a charge, and as we breathe out, it discharges. If it's really integrated like my cat, we breathe from our belly up into our shoulders, into our head. Awareness is charge. Discharge happens through our body down to the earth and lets go. And if we do that, we successfully relax with each breath. So there's a relaxation with each breath. There's a letting go with each breath. And as I say to people who are very busy, well, you have to learn how to rest between breaths. That is, with each breath. You have to learn how to rest with each breath. And that can be done. That's with grace. With successful charge and discharge. Okay? So, the first thing we want to do is observe that the natural way to stand is with the knees unlocked. Look at little children up until the age of about 5 or 6, they always have their knees unlocked. And then about 5 or 6, they start having enough trauma and things happening around them that they can start, don't hit me, or whatever it might be. Oh my God, did I do that wrong again? They'll start rigidifying. It's like, and then the other thing, so standing is one thing, breathing is the second thing. The two things that people need to relearn to do is to stand and then to breathe. The second thing that happens, again, the 6-year-old starts doing it. A lot of young people, they have such difficulty. Breathing and feeling go together. If you breathe, you feel. If you don't breathe, you feel less. So you want to feel less, cut your breathing down. You want to feel less, cut your oxygen intake down. So it's a strategy. Cigarettes are a strategy. Instead of oxygen, you're taking smoke, so you have less oxygen. You have less activation, oxygenation of the blood, less aliveness of the nervous system, less flow, less feeling. So the two things we're going to do here today, first of all, is we're going to do an exercise in standing. And most of us really are not able to experience standing on our own 2 feet. Okay, I mentioned earlier that I've gotten people off of Zyprexa and other drugs in this past year simply by teaching them how to stand and to experience to experience the event and the experience of standing, so that they unconsciously felt, I can stand on my own 2 feet. This is what it's like. I feel as though I can support my own weight. I can carry my own weight, is the expression. These are not accidental expressions. Are you with me? Okay, so here's the exercise. Feet should be about 6 inches apart, almost parallel. Upper body should be relaxed and relatively breathing as much as possible. Most of us have developed this kind of stuff, and this rounding. Most of us have done that to some degree. And most of us are not upright. Last night I was mentioning in traditional cultures how many people you see who carry things around on their head, and how many of us are even able to even consider doing that. I mean, this is not the right thing. But how many of us could even do it? It used to be something they taught in finishing school, to learn pottery. But this is being upright. The ears are meant to be above the shoulders, right? Right? Physiology people, the ears are meant to be above the shoulders. Most of us, and women, girls, when they start getting breasts, very often they'll do this too. They'll start, oh my God, I'm not going to show off that, But that is a natural way. That's a natural way to be full of life, is for the breast and chest to be full and open. So there are a lot of issues and factors that play into this. Feeling oppressed, feeling frightened, feeling protective. All of these things we start to do. So at the age of 6, people start shutting down this breathing. And at the age of 16 to 20, around that time, even more so. So let's start by 6 inches apart from the feet, knees bent, the upper body fairly upright, and breathing as much as you can. We won't work on the breath right now, but it should be relaxed up here. And then bend the knees a little bit more. Bend the knee, but keep your body upright. And just stay like that. And observe what you feel in your legs. Pay attention to your legs and your feet on the ground. Feel the feet on the floor. Knees are bent, needs to be bent more. Keep your body upright, don't throw your trunk forward, do you see? Bend at the knees. Bend a little more. Okay, now you should start feeling your legs. Bend a little more. Anybody, any comments? What do you feel in your legs? Anybody feel shakiness?
Muscle tension.
Upper body, upper, okay, you feel the tension? Okay, good. Anybody feel a little trembling, a little shakiness? Shakiness. The shakiness comes because basically we've been off our legs for so long and not in our legs that trembling and that shaking is actually the life force beginning to come back into your legs. That's called streaming. And that is what they call chi, right? Prana, vital force. It's the life force coming back into the legs. And so you're beginning to start to wake. It's awakening. It's an awakening. So the nervous system is saying, hey, wait a minute. You're starting to feel the weight on your legs. So anybody getting tired on their legs now from feeling it? Okay, can you stay with it? Let's get tired a little bit more. Bend them a little bit more. And try even going up and down a little bit. You feel the muscle of your thighs? You're getting some burning now, huh? What are you feeling? Huh? What are you feeling? You're feeling like laughing. That's good. That's good too. Anybody feeling burning in their legs now? Tension? What?
It's going away. If there was tension there, it's going away.
Well, it's going to go away a little bit from the movement. Okay, just stay with them bent a little bit more. Let's see if we can stay a little bit longer. See if we can stay for at least 1 more minute. With the legs bent, the upper body relaxed, and feeling the weight of your body on your legs. Your legs carry this weight around every day. For most of you, it's well over 100 pounds, right? Some of you, more petite ones, maybe just around 100. But 150 pounds all day, that's a real weight, right? These are great muscles in the body. We haven't even done it for a minute, this last minute. Smiles. What is anybody feeling? What's anybody experiencing? Burning. Good. Okay, the burning is good. That's part of the streaming, huh? Heaviness in your legs. Okay, now, so we're getting to the right point. Let's get just until it's 1 minute has passed. This hasn't even been 3 minutes we've done this, Okay, now slowly straighten up, but do not lock your knees. Now remember, you might feel some shakiness and unsteadiness. Remember, knees unlocked. This is the natural way to stand, so that your body is alive, so that this charge and discharge can happen, and so that you can, as you spend your time in the day, as you go through the day, you actually feel the weight of your body. I mean, it is there. You can forget that it's there and walk rigid, you know. But this is, and like I say, I have seen people come off of medications, and I've seen people come from a place of being in great insecurity. Psychologists in here, any psychologists? Feeling really much more secure by learning how to stand and feel that they can, as they say, hold their own weight. They can stand on their own 2 feet, or the expression we say is, let's get you back onto your feet. You know, but you have to feel that. And it's a sense of security. I am on the earth and on the ground, and it supports me by Allah's design. That's the unconscious thing that comes from carrying your own weight and being present in your... Now, as you move around, now try shifting your weight to 1 foot, another foot, move around a bit, and notice what you feel in your legs. They feel kind of, some of you feel kind of a thickness, heaviness to your legs. Yes? Anybody? That is what's called being present in your legs. You've come back into, that's the chi being present in your legs. If you do this every day as an exercise, it will change the way you feel in the day. I promise you. It may not seem like it, but it's cumulative. Because it's cumulative because what it is, it's again something we did as children all the time. It's something we begin to remember. And our nervous system, if we spend enough time with it consciously to recover that quality, the nervous system begins to say, oh, right, I have 100 pounds I'm carrying around here. I need to know that. I need to be aware of that and not be living in some fantasy, living somewhere else in my mind. I need to be present. Yeah.
Martial arts class, they teach you how to stand in the same way you was showing us in the evening, but they have it where maybe your legs are parallel to the ground. Now,
Where the legs are parallel to the ground?
yeah, meaning you're just lower.
You mean where the thighs would be? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you're like in a horse stance, what they call a horse stance.
Uh-huh.
Feet front forward. And you might do this for like 5 minutes. Now, is that bad on your knees?
Well, it can be harder than these, but the most important thing about these martial arts, if you have a good teacher or if you have a reflection in yourself, as you learn these exercises of standing, of moving, whatever it might be, if you do it consciously, let me tell you something about the nervous system. It's important to recognize that, first of all, the nervous system learns, but it learns very slowly. It can respond very rapidly. So if there's threat, the nervous system will, like the eye will boom, will blink to protect something coming at it, like rapidly. But in terms of relearning an experience, the nervous system moves very slow. It's like the tortoise and the hare. Sometimes I think that's the meaning of that story of the tortoise and the hare. The hare is the animal part. It goes like that, and the tortoise. So the nervous system is very slow in learning. So if you do martial arts of any kind, the more you reflect and the more you consciously become aware of what's happening, the more valuable it can become to you. And the more you slow it down, the more you can integrate it, and the nervous system can begin to pick it up and integrate it into your daily life. If you do this exercise every day where you begin to feel the burning and the trembling in your legs, and you get the charge and the streaming back in place, wallahi, I promise you, after a week, 2 weeks, month, you will start feeling differently. Okay? So most of the martial arts things are very good. Some are, like I say, some teachers are better than others in terms of teaching this. But the whole point is this. Here's another exercise. So let's stay with the knees bent, but let's do this. Put your hands upright. Focus on your hands. Okay. Do you notice that by focusing on your hands, the sensations you experience in your hands change suddenly? Because you're aware of it. It's like when I went out to buy a Volkswagen, a bug one time. Every car, I noticed every bug on the street, right? You know how that works? Someone says red car, and you start seeing all the red cars. Same with our consciousness. We can either be conscious and present in our body, or we can be walking around in our bodies, and we can be at our computer or dealing with something we have to work with tomorrow. Being present in your body and being aware of being present in your body and being connected to the senses. That doesn't mean that's all we experience, but that's the grounding place. That's where we stand. As Rumi said, our feet on the earth and our head in the heavens. One way we have the feet on the earth is by awareness of our body. Okay? It's like the difference between walking through a forest and thinking about your computer and walking through the forest and noticing what the pine smells like, noticing what the soil and the humus as it's doing its thing on the ground is, noticing the animals, noticing the colors, smelling the fragrance. Same thing with the body. And the body is like the forest. It is beautiful. It's beautiful to be present. It's beautiful to feel the blood when it flows through your arms if you really are conscious of feeling that. That doesn't mean you only live by that, because then that means by what you can be genuinely, experientially in a state of appreciation of God and His creation. In a state of hamd and shukr. Really, in a real way. So, we can focus on our hands and suddenly our hands seem energized and activated, right? Now if you shift your focus to your feet, suddenly you feel the ground under your feet, right? Now shift to arms. I just want to point out the fact that this changes the way suddenly you can feel the sensations that are happening in your arms. Okay, now shift consciousness, awareness of the person in front of you and beside you. Just awareness, without necessarily looking. Just shift your consciousness. Because we also emanate and receive and sense from a distance presence of other people. The animal in us does it. There is what they call an aura. There's a field that's about 25 feet apart. It's another exercise we could do at another time. And if you have two people and you walk towards each other at about 25 feet, if you pay attention to the sensation in your body, at about 25 feet, you will feel an awareness of that person coming into your... Then there's a closer one, and its energy comes in a circular pattern from the heart. And that has different degrees. It has a degree of about 6 feet and has a degree of about 10 feet. So the child, when it's in the arena, in what they call the heart arena of the mother, the child feels that. And we feel it with each other. So when we sit around the same dish at a meal, there's more than just words that are exchanged. And that's just the energy, the subtle energies of the body. That's not counting the breath, that which comes out of our bodies, et cetera, et cetera. So, okay. So that's the standing exercise. Now, one more thing in terms of returning and recovering sensation. Here's an exercise that if you do every day, this will change too. And this is... Try slapping your thighs first of all. Slap until it feels a little burning. You feel a little burning there? And notice the after feeling from the burning. And do it in various parts of your body. Arms. You can even do it up here if you want. But your arms, so there's actually a little stinging. If you do this, we've only done this for about 30 seconds, you know that? If you do this for 2 minutes, I see some real smiles out there. Now, is it because it seems foolish to do it? Or is it awakening something? Is it stimulating something that makes you want to smile? That's a question I have. Most of the feeling that we experience, like I say, we don't feel anymore. Most of the feeling happens in maybe the 1.5 inches of the outer surface of our body. Most of what we feel. There are visceral feelings too that happen deep in our guts, but a great deal of what we feel or don't feel happens or doesn't happen in the very surface of our body. To do this every day, hey, stop and think about it. If you did this every day, would that not change things? We're going to get into some other exercises that are even more dramatic in terms of, inshallah, in terms of awakening sensation and developing the breath's ability to move through the body, inshallah.
I call it beating yourself.
Yeah. But the point is that you get that kind of stinging, and what it does is it actually stimulates the nerve. See, what happens in trauma, with trauma and repeated trauma, is the nervous system begins to shut down for protection. So it shuts off, whole areas of the body shut off, like whole areas of the back shut off, the chest, the arms. And when it shuts down, you have to reawaken it somehow, bring it back to life So one, that it can release trauma, and so that it functions, physiologically functions. So you're actually working. I mean, and it doesn't necessarily work from vigorous exercise. Yeah.
How does this, like, standing and beating yourself compare to just playing sports?
Well, that's what I was just saying. Is I was saying physical exercise doesn't not necessarily do it, because actually physical exercise, especially like weight training, can actually be a means by which you actually extend the lack of feeling by strengthening, by tightening and hardening the muscles, or by stressing them. You don't necessarily get the subtle sensation. The most powerful, like for example, stretching. If you watch cats and animals, my cat, every time she wakes up, she goes, she does this incredible stretch. Like Tai Chi, if it's really done fully and completely, is a kind of stretching. And it's feeling the energy move through your suppleness, experiencing fully the sensations in your nervous system is the most valuable way to stretch and to move and to exercise. So that the next thing one can learn from standing and really feeling the experience in the legs, the next thing you can do is actually develop the ability to feel the legs as they fit into the hips, and to feel the weight of your body as it pushes against your hip. And then when you walk, to actually feel the experience of your weight rhythmically moving. But to do that consciously enables you to recover that which the nervous system has lost, which is it's that awareness and awakeness. Because you can build up huge muscles and work out and run forever and not develop that sensitivity. But if you do what I'm talking about, what you do is you regain sensation and feeling, which is what we hope for. And in that is good health, and in that is the experience of life. And like I said, to experience feeling, I'm telling you men this, it doesn't mean just that you can cry. That's not good enough. Emotions and feeling is no less vast than the creation. Are you with me? Did you hear what I said? The range of emotion, the range of feeling is nothing less, it's no less than what we see in the creation. There are feelings that are the equivalent of the yellow leaves on the trees. There are feelings that are the equivalent of the stream as it bubbles down over the rocks. There's feelings that are the equivalent of the lightning as it strikes and crashes and shakes the house. All of these are, these are, like I say, what is in here is out there. But we've shut ourselves down. Like crying is, sorrow and grief is a real emotion. And so is joy. But there is a range of, and this is what poetry and music is about. It's about recognizing those things, putting a handle on it, expressing them, identifying them for each other. We identify these things for each other, don't we? In music and in poetry, in song. Is that making sense? So working out, I mean, sometimes the person that builds, it's as counterproductive as anything, because you can just rigidify and shut down the breathing and the sensation, the subtle sensation, as much as if you didn't do any movement. So it's not necessarily in physical activity.